Hi, I'm Kristyn Burtt for Red Carpet Report, and we're here at the 67th Annual Creative Arts Emmys Red Carpet. I'm so excited to meet you. Yes. I could probably sit here for 3 hours, but you have a show to go to. So, Going Clear, I mean, it just resonated with so many people. I mean, here in Los Angeles, of course, but what did you hear from people across the country that don't know Scientology as well as we do here in Los Angeles?
The response was staggering, and people tuned in for HBO like they turn in for a sporting event. It was an appointment viewing, and millions have seen the film at this point, and the reaction was frankly astonishment that these kinds of organized human rights abuses could go on for so long under the protection, in a way, of our own tax code.
And I think a lot of people, most people have heard about Scientology, but they didn't really know very much about it. And I think that the benefit of the book and the film is it introduces people to the church, describes the beliefs, but we're not criticizing the beliefs. It's the abuses that are going on inside the church that we're calling attention to.
I've interviewed Leah Remini. You know, she had a very public exit, and she had questions over all of, but it's amazing to me that for a lot of these people, it comes decades later after they've been in the church for so long. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I think part of the reason they've been quiet is there's a lot of shame attached to the feeling that maybe you've been duped, that you spent a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars,
sometimes millions.
Millions, and you've been led into a belief system that is unsupportable. And if the people that come out of it, oftentimes, many of them are not reflected in our movie. They're living in the shadows. There are so many more ex-Scientologists than there are Scientologists. And they're the ones that we're giving voice to.
I think there's shame, and I think there's also fear. There are a lot of ex-Scientologists who are frankly afraid of coming forward because of what will be done to them by the church.
Are you guys living in fear? I know that there's a lot of security at Sundance when you were there.
We're not living in fear.
No. But I mean, our hearts go out to the people who were in the film, who really did suffer a lot of harassment from private investigators. By all accounts, they received physical threats, economic threats, and it was also concerning on a larger level because after the film came out, you can see the vilification sites of Larry and me online. Right. You can see, and if you look at the correspondence with our attorneys, we're just flooded with correspondence, and the purpose is to wreck you financially, and that's what they've done to a lot of people over the years.
It's so shocking that this is 2015 and we're talking about this. Do you think that you'll do a follow-up to this? Do you think maybe in 10 years? Because I'm not sure that the church, because I feel like it's being weakened, like you guys are chipping away at it.
Well, there are only two things that would cause reform in the church that we could see. One is that the IRS re-examines its tax exemption, which it granted to the church in the face of 2,400 lawsuits on the part of the church and individual members against the agency, and simply caved as far as we can tell. And the other possibilities is some of these celebrities that
notably Tom Cruise.
They should turn their megaphone around and demand change inside the church, that we've documented the human rights abuses inside of it.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine sometimes you have two huge A-list actors allowing and being okay with this going on. Even if they're shielded from it, their eyes have been opened.
Well, and they won't even reckon with it. And frankly, they use their power to prevent people from asking them questions. So they won't appear on shows unless you promise in advance not to ask them about Scientology.
Look at this last cruise tour where nobody was allowed to talk to him about the tour.
Did you guys go see Mission Impossible?
Not yet, but I'd like him as an actor. I mean, he's a wonderful actor, and I'd be happy to go see it. I have nothing against him personally. Yeah.
It is a good movie, but all of us, we did have those restrictions. So.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I think you really opened a lot of people's eyes to this.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Be sure to subscribe so you can get more interviews. And let me know in the comments below who you're rooting for at this year's Emmys. I'm Kristyn Burtt. See you later.